Welcome, everyone. Welcome to our webinar tonight. Welcome to the Association of Independent Maryland and DC Schools College Fair. We're excited to have you participating in this event. We have some fantastic schools with us here today. Each will have about 6 minutes to share a little bit more about their institution, but we want to be around for the entire session to answer any questions. My name is Greg, and I'll be your facilitator tonight. Before we get started, just a few housekeeping items. Your camera and your microphone are off, so panelists cannot see or hear you. If you notice at the bottom of your screen, there's a Q&A button. You can type your questions to our presenters at any time, and they can email you back or text you back in the chat, excuse me. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the schedule on the website. And lastly, this presentation is being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/AIMS. That's AIMS. We're excited to have you here. Ask questions at any time. Thanks. Right now, I'd like to turn it over to our first presenter, which is the Rochester Institute of Technology.
Great, thank you, Greg. Good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight to learn more about our schools. Thank you to your school counselors for putting this on and to StriveScan for hosting us. My name is Mariah McLean Giardino. I'm Associate Director of Admissions here at Rochester Institute of Technology, or RIT. I am also the admissions representative for all of Maryland and the DC area, so I hope to connect with you in the future. So first, I would like to begin with an overview of Rochester and the RIT community. RIT's main campus is located in a suburban area called Henrietta, and that's about 6 miles outside of downtown Rochester in upstate New York. So drive time from the Baltimore area, you're looking at about 5.5 hours, or you could hop on a flight out of BWI and it's less than an hour. There are a number of companies that have called Rochester home, including Eastman Kodak, Wegmans Supermarkets, Paychex, and Xerox Corporation. There are festivals, concerts, and minor league sports, which are very popular here. Other local attractions include Lake Ontario in the Finger Lakes region, including ski resorts and parks for all 4 seasons. As far as the RIT community, the student population here is just under 17,000 total students. If you include our international campuses in Croatia, Dubai, Kosovo, and China, RIT's total enrollment is over 19,000. So this does make us one of the largest private universities in the country. We're also home to the National Technical Institute for the Deaf, or NTID, which is about 900 students who are deaf or hard of hearing. All 50 states plus DC and about 90 countries are represented on our campus. So even though we're considered a large school, the average class size is about 22 and the student to faculty ratio is 13:1. Also good to know that all RIT classes are faculty taught. So even though we have the word technology in our name, we do have beyond that to offer. We are home to 9 academic colleges, including NTID. We offer close to 90 majors and about 100 minors, programs in everything from engineering, science, computing, game design, health sciences, and engineering technology, to things you might not expect, like art, design, film and animation, photography, liberal arts, and business. We also offer about 50 accelerated dual degree programs, such as our 4+1 MBA, available through the College of Business. I want to briefly touch on opportunities for experiential learning. This is a really important part of RIT's education style. So experiential learning can take many forms here, including research at the undergraduate level, study abroad, clinical rotations, and internships. So we are best known, however, for our cooperative education program, or co-op for short. Co-ops at RIT are always full-time, paid and professional work experiences. About 80% of our majors require co-op, and RIT has one of the oldest and largest co-op programs in the world, with about 3,400 employer partners in all 50 states and 30 countries. So as you'd hopefully expect from a co-op school, the experience you get at RIT pays off. The class of 2020 had an outcome rate of about 92%. And here you can see just a small sample of our major employer partners. As far as campus life, so there's plenty to do as an RIT student, including about 300 different clubs, everything from academic to religious, environmental, multicultural. We also host more than 1,300 student-run events each year. Students can join Greek life with about 29 participating organizations. That's about 10% of our student body. For those of you who are interested in a varsity sport, we have 22 intercollegiate teams at the Division III level, including our 2021 Division III champion men's lacrosse team. We also have Division I level men's and women's ice hockey. For those who want to participate in sports, maybe not necessarily at the varsity level, we have lots of different club, intramural, and recreational sports available. That's about a third of our students participating in things like dodgeball, rock climbing, field hockey, and esports, just to name a few. We do have a goal to grow performing arts opportunities on campus. So as you can see here, we have new performance spaces under construction, and we also offer a new Performing Arts Scholars Program to incoming first-year students upon admission to RIT. Speaking of admissions, so wrapping up just by talking a bit about our admissions process, we review students for admission based on the student's intended major. And that's a practice called differential admissions. So for example, what we're looking for from a science, engineering, or other STEM candidate to bring to the table would be very different from what we look for in our art, design, liberal arts, or other non-STEM candidates. When our admissions committee reviews applications, we do use a holistic process. It includes several factors, but the most important one that's considered is your day-to-day academic record. We are test optional at RIT, so it's your choice whether to submit SAT or ACT scores. We'll also consider other factors, as you can see here, including recommendations, extracurriculars, and an art portfolio for any students applying to art, design, or film and animation programs. So just to wrap up, I want to share my contact information and ways to connect with RIT in the future. Feel free to sign up on our website for small group in-person campus tours. We also offer information sessions, or virtually we're having student-led virtual tours and virtual appointments with our admissions counselors. In the fall, we'll also offer in-person and virtual academic open houses. I welcome you to contact me directly with questions. So look forward to working with you throughout the application process. I'm assuming my time is just about up, so I'm going to go ahead and pass it to my next colleague. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Rochester University of Technology. But now I'd like to turn over to the University of Connecticut.
Okay, hello. That was very educational and very well put together. I feel like I need to step up my game, but regardless of everything, so it is great to meet everybody. Hopefully, I can answer any questions that might come up. So I am Kathleen. I am an admissions officer at the University of Connecticut. Just to kind of give an overview about Uconn, we are in the top 25 public universities in the nation. We have over 24,000 undergraduate students across our campuses. Our main campus is located in Storrs, Connecticut, and that has the vast majority of our students. That's where traditionally most out-of-state applicants are looking. Our main campus, which is in Storrs. So this map has information about the locations of all of our campuses. So the main campus is kind of in the northeastern corner of the state, but our other regional campuses are spread throughout the state of Connecticut as well. So 5 campuses, 1 Uconn. So in terms of the opportunities for students to get involved in campus life, we have a lot of different things that students can take part in. So at Uconn, we do have 21 NCAA Division I sports teams. So if you're basketball fans, you have probably heard of us already. They do, have a nickname of the basketball capital of the world. We are the only NCAA Division I school to win both men's and women's basketball championships in the same year, and we've done it twice. So, and yesterday, our women's basketball team just made it to their 14th straight Final Four. So we're very excited about that. School spirit is definitely something that's a big part of the Uconn community. Of course, there's more to just get involved in other than, Division I athletics. We have over 700 clubs and organizations that students can join, ranging from everything from fraternity and sorority life to club and intramural sports, to musical groups, to kind of just your standard special interest organization. If you're passionate about it, you're guaranteed to find an opportunity to get involved in it at Uconn. In terms of our academic options, we are a state flagship university, so we do provide students with a broad curriculum. We have over 115 different majors, tons of options for our students across our 10 schools and colleges. So whether it's science, math, English, history, anything else that you might be passionate about, you're pretty much guaranteed to find options here at the University of Connecticut. So as I mentioned, we do have about 18,000 students at our main campus, but all that being said, our student to faculty ratio is still 16:1. So we do provide a lot of, individualized academic support for our students, and you're still able to really build those connections and have smaller discussion-based courses, even though we are kind of a medium to large university. So we've got kind of information about all of our different schools and colleges. So we have our standard College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. So that has everything from, the hard sciences, biology, physics, chemistry, to kind of, the humanities, English, history, political science, psychology, pretty much any of those, traditional liberal arts college majors you can find there. We also have our College of Agriculture, Health, and Natural Resources. So that is definitely something that is, keeps us close to our roots at Uconn. We were founded as an agricultural school back in 1881. So some other of our programs that are smaller tend to be a little more competitive: business, engineering, nursing, fine arts. Education and social work are junior entry programs, as well as certain majors within the College of Agriculture, Health, and Natural Resources, meaning that you would apply as a pre-teaching major, for example, and then at the end of your sophomore year, you would apply into the School of Education officially, and then be able to finish up your bachelor's and your master's, all in the same school. So it's a great opportunity for students. And we have a lot of different ways that students can explore all of their academic options. Anything is possible here at Uconn. So in terms of our application information, we are, requiring that, you get the standard Common App, Coalition App. We also do not require letters of recommendation, but we do strongly encourage students submit, probably 2 is the magic number. We are also test optional. So SAT scores, ACT scores, totally your call as to whether you want to send those in to us. So it's also important to note that in terms of our application review, we are not just looking at, your grades or your scores. We do a holistic review, meaning that every piece of information you provide is considered. There's no one make or break factor. So there's lots of things for us to consider. And we do get over 40,000 applications every year, and we review all of them holistically. So dates, deadlines, things of that nature. We do have until January 15th to apply. So we do not have early action. We do not have early decision. So we provide all of our students with the same dates and deadlines. So that being said, priority for scholarship consideration is December 1st. So I would encourage you to apply by then, as well as the deadline for our special programs, which are direct entry into the graduate school after you are finished with your undergraduate degree. So those are highly competitive programs, as is the honors program, but it's always something to know. Oh, I'm running out of time. Oh no. But just quickly saying March 1st is the day that decisions will be released. And that's all I had to say. So I was wrapping up, but I very much appreciate that. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. And want to remind everyone to keep using the chat. We see some chats coming in, and remember, you can direct your chat toward any particular school, general questions, whatever you have. Appreciate that. Would now like to turn over to our next presenter, Bucknell University.
All right, hopefully you can see my screen, although I'm not sure. All right.
We can see it.
Okay, good. Thank you for the help. Hi, everybody. Jill Medina. I'm the Senior Associate Dean of Bucknell University. My pronouns are she, her, and hers. Thanks for tuning in tonight. I'm going to share a little bit about Bucknell, and I want to start by asking you to remember three things. Oh, there is not, best professors, world-class facilities, and hands-on learning. Having the best professors matters because they are not only making breakthroughs in their fields, they're making headlines, and they work with you. We are primarily undergraduate focused universities with no graduate students teaching in the classroom. World-class facilities matter because these buildings are not just buildings, they are working laboratories. They are places of learning with the latest tools that help you invent your own future. Hands-on learning matters because it allows you to take the driver's seat in your own education and work collaboratively with your professors. Just about a 3-hour drive north to central Pennsylvania from the DC and BWI airports. The campus is over 450 acres adjacent to the Susquehanna River and nestled around 8 state parks, so beautiful surroundings. Our classes are taught 100% by faculty, a 9-to-1 ratio. Our 3,700 students study in one of 3 colleges, the College of Arts and Sciences, the College of Engineering, and the Freeman College of Management. 65% of our students are in the College of Arts and Sciences, 19% in the College of Engineering, where you choose one of, let's see, that's 8 engineering majors: biomedical, civil, computer science and engineering, environmental, chemical, computer, electrical, and mechanical. In the Freeman College of Management, that is about 17% of our population. The Freeman College of Management is one of only 5% of business schools worldwide that are accredited by the Association for the Advancement of Collegiate Schools of Business. In Freeman, you will find accounting, finance, management and organizations, markets, innovations and design, business analytics, global management, and managing for sustainability. Prior to the pandemic, about half of our students studied abroad. We have over 200 clubs and organizations. As a residential college, we guarantee housing for the entire time you're a student, and it varies from year to year what type you can be part of. We offer 27 Division I varsity sports. As a senior, and about 8%, 7% of our students do choose to live off campus, and they can do so by applying for that opportunity. About 88% of our students graduate within 6 years, and 94% have a successful placement within 6 months of graduation. That average salary is over $60,000 for each of the last 2 years of our graduates. Bucknell University is a Common App and Coalition school. You can apply under one of 2 plans, Early Decision 1 or regular. I should say 2 plans, Early Decision and Regular Decision. We have 2 rounds of early. These are binding plans, and we are test optional. We are part of the group of schools that does a holistic review as well. If you're applying for need-based aid, we use the CSS profile. And if you want to apply for merit-based, you can nominate yourself. That process is available online. We do have a couple scholarships that don't require that you nominate yourself, but we do have named funds that you can apply for. So it's pretty easy. Our financial aid website has all of that information. So if you want to be in a small school with a big school feel, Bucknell is a great place. Again, it's about 3 hours drive north, and we look forward to seeing you and answering your questions. We are offering in-person visits spring and summer, a whole host of virtual opportunities as well. And then we have a virtual reality experience. So if you happen to have an Oculus, you can have your own 3D experience at Bucknell, an on-campus interactive map that you'll find online that allows you to pick the time of day and season of your virtual campus tour. So I'm going to end there so that you have plenty of time to ask questions. And thank you for tuning in tonight.
Greg, I think I'm up next. I'm going to hop in here just to make sure we stay on time. Hi, everybody. My name is Kevin Murray, and I'm an assistant director of undergraduate admissions at Drexel University. Thanks so much for spending some time with us this evening. I typically apologize for speaking too quickly during presentations like this. Tonight, I'm going to apologize for potentially speaking too slowly. I had a slight dental procedure done a few hours ago, and my Novocaine's hanging out for a little bit longer than expected. So I apologize if I'm slurring my words a little bit or stumble over my words at all. But thank you so much for being here and learning a little bit more about a place that's been a part of my life for the last 11 years. Drexel University is a large, comprehensive research university located in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I graduated in the class of 2015 from our College of Business. While I was on campus, I was heavily involved in residential living as an RA. I studied abroad. I did academic research. I worked in the athletics department. I was in student government. I did a whole bunch of different things, which really provides me a great perspective on Drexel as an institution. Now I'm a member of the admissions team, but I also am a faculty member in our honors program where I teach. And lastly, I'm also a student getting my MBA. So at this point, pretty much my entire personality is Drexel associated. So hopefully I'll be able to answer any questions that you have tonight after my time presenting to you. So let's get started. Drexel University is home to just south of 15,000 undergrads, and they come to Drexel from almost all 50 states and 120 countries around the world. That is joined by just around 9,000 graduate and professional students and something like 3,500 faculty and staff. That makes up a batch of about 30,000 dragons here in Philadelphia. Importantly, Drexel student to faculty ratio is just 10-1 with a median class size of 19. That's quite small for a university of our size, and I'll explain how we do that in just a moment. A huge reason why I chose to attend Drexel was because of the fact that our student body comes from so many places. I think that opportunity to learn alongside folks who bring so many different life experiences to the table is a really important one in your college journey and something that Drexel can certainly provide. Drexel's home to 13 different undergraduate colleges and academic units, and those range from the hard sciences and STEM and engineering, which is where Drexel was founded. You can see a picture of our main building just behind me here and on the screen. That's where we were founded 130 years ago with just 50 mechanical engineering students and a couple of faculty and staff, all the way to the fine and studio arts and everything in between. You can apply to Drexel either directly to an academic major of your choice as an undeclared student in individual colleges. So if you like the idea of engineering but don't know what type of engineering you're interested in, that's fine. Apply as an undeclared engineering student. Or lastly, you can apply as a generally undeclared student through our first year exploratory studies program. So if you like the idea and what you hear about Drexel this evening or in your further research, please feel free to consider any of those options as you're looking at Drexel to apply. As a part of your education at the university, you will have to take courses in rooms with 4 walls with somebody presenting to you and asking you to do tests and homework and stuff like that, just like any other educational institution. But we hope to allow students to also redefine the idea of what they think of a classroom. First, we do that through extensive research opportunities. Like I mentioned, Drexel is an R1 research institution, which is the highest tier of designated research here in the United States. Basically, it means we spend a lot of money on academic research every year, and that starts as early as a student's first year on campus. Drexel also has really extensive hands-on learning opportunities that happen around the academic environment. One really cool example of that is Drexel's fashion show, which happens annually at the Urban Outfitters headquarters here in Philadelphia. I wear literally just gray, black, and blue, but I'm really amazed by the work that our fashion design students do to put on an incredible show every single year, and encourage you to check out videos on the internet if that's something that you're interested in. This connection between world-class education and real-world work experience is something that, like I mentioned, is consistent all across the academic disciplines here at the university. This is a really cool photo of Drexel's engineering design lab. It looks kind of like an airplane hangar. It's really huge. And students are in here working on everything from 3D printers in the back right-hand corner there to building models and doing electrical work here in the front to building our model, our F1 Formula One model race car, which we build 2 of every single year in our mechanical engineering department. So this sort of hands-on learning is really a huge part of who we are. To expand on that a little bit more, Drexel, like our friends up at RIT, runs one of the largest and most extensive co-op programs in the country. Co-op stands for cooperative education, and is basically the idea that your in-classroom learning needs to cooperate with real-world professional work experience. Drexel students, for the most part, about 60% of them, will go to school at Drexel for 5 years by choice and do 3 6-month full-time work experiences as a part of that 5-year journey, totaling 18 months of full-time work. That hands-on and professional work experience comes in the form of full-time jobs that are 6 months in length, just like I mentioned. Just over 85% of those positions are paid at an average salary just south of $20,000 for 6 months. So you get both the opportunity to earn really extensive work experience and professional experience, but also a legitimate salary as well to support your experience here as a student. I think co-op is the best way to learn what you like and don't like professionally. I mentioned that I studied sport management in our College of Business here at Drexel. I now work in college admissions. So I figured out through the co-op program exactly what I didn't like about what I was studying, which really guided me in my career. In terms of outcomes, Drexel in our class of 2020 had about 94% of our folks 1 year post-graduation working or in graduate school full-time. But in my opinion, the most important data point here is actually that 91% number down at the bottom. 91% of students are satisfied with the position that they have if they're working full-time. Not only are students finding careers, but they're finding careers that they're happy with. I'm sure everybody here knows somebody that gets up every day and goes to a job that they hate. We're really trying to help our students avoid that. And utilizing the co-op experience is a great way to do so. I mentioned that Drexel is located in Philadelphia. We are located in a neighborhood called University City in West Philadelphia. This quote has different meaning this week after the Oscars on Sunday night, but our neighborhood is called University City because it's home to the University of Pennsylvania, us at Drexel University, and the University of the Sciences. So between the three of us, there's about 30,000 undergrads in a 30 square block radius. So you get a really interesting combo of being in the middle of the 6th largest city in the United States, while simultaneously being in a neighborhood that is really completely student-centric. Being able to explore Philadelphia as your secondary home and seeing all the amazing things that are happening in such a revolutionary town is a huge part of the Drexel student experience and why so many students stay here post-graduation. Philadelphia is the youngest of the 10 largest cities in the United States for that reason, because there are so many college students around and those want to stay here after their time in undergrad. All right, I'm coming to the end of my time here. I want to cover a little bit of our application process. Like many of my friends here, Drexel utilizes a holistic admissions review process where we look at all parts of your application to determine whether or not you're a good fit for the university. And then we will determine an admissions decision based off of that. We have an early decision, early action, and regular decision round with the first applications being due November 1st and the second being due in January 15th. But what I just said in the chat will also provide good context there. Lastly, here's my contact information. I'm happy to answer any questions for anybody at all. I am the admissions counselor for DC, Maryland, Virginia, and West Virginia, so I'm happy to provide any support after today. Thank you all so much for your time, and I'll see you all in the Q&A box to answer any questions that you might have. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Kevin, for jumping in there. I'm back now. I'd like to pass it over to our next presenter, which is Union College.
Thank you very much. And it's so interesting to listen to all these other schools being presented. I think I would like to go back to college, very honestly, after I hear everything else that's going on. So I'm Susan Hanks. I'm from Union College, which is in the Capital District of New York. We are located in Schenectady, which is a small city of about 65,000 people, about 20 minutes from Albany, the state capital. We are about a 5.5-hour drive from the Baltimore, DC area, like RIT, and we are a direct flight from either BWI or Dulles, so very easy to get to, and there is an Amtrak station in Schenectady if you would like to do that. Union College is a liberal arts college with engineering programs. So that is a distinctive piece of our small undergraduate population. We have 2,200 students. About half of our students will be majoring in a STEM field. About half of our students will be majoring in the social sciences, humanities, or performing or visual arts. But as I mentioned, we have about 20% of our students who are majoring in our ABET accredited engineering programs. And just 2 years ago, we established the Templeton Institute for Engineering and Computer Science, started by a gift from a pair of alumni, $51 million gift. So that's an exciting thing. And we anticipate that there will be an extension of our engineering programs in the coming year. What I really appreciate about the academics at Union, we offer over 50 undergraduate majors, but what's really important is about 80% of our students are pursuing more than one academic discipline. So if you don't want to give up your interest in the language, but have an interest in the sciences, or you are interested in economics but would also like to take environmental science classes, or an engineer who wants to study music as well, Union is a great facility and a great institution for you. We have students who are double majoring with minors, interdisciplinary programs, interdepartmental programs, and certainly an option to create your own major if nothing else fits your needs. Like some of the other schools that you've heard about, our faculty teach all of our classes. We have small class sizes. We pride ourselves on that. Average introductory classes are 21 students, and upper level classes average 14 students. We have a 10-to-1 student to faculty ratio. And our faculty really do become mentors to the students. You'll have faculty advisors, you'll have thesis advisors, you'll just know people outside of the classroom. So those relationships and the friendships that faculty develop with their students last the 4 years while you're at Union, but certainly well beyond that as well. So we run on a 3-term calendar. So our students just arrived back from spring break yesterday. And so we are on our spring term. What students really appreciate about the 3-term calendar is that typically you're just taking 3 classes per term. So you can really focus in on those 3 areas and not be pulled in so many different directions. It also allows students to meet with their advisors more frequently, and allows you to change classes 3 times a year. So if you, I guess, need that excitement of new books and new professors and new classmates, you get that 3 times a year at Union. Research is an important part of Union. All of our professors are doing research, and certainly they need help in their research, so they really incorporate the undergraduate students in that. About 75% of our students will be conducting undergraduate research, and that might be springboarded by being involved with the faculty in their research. But by senior year, all of our engineers are doing research projects. All the students in the social sciences have to write a senior thesis. And the majority of the other students look at that as a capstone program. We have about 85% of our students who will do at least 1 internship during their 4 years. And those take place typically during the summer or during the month of December when our classes are not being held. And we're really proud that 60% of our students do study abroad, and those have returned after the 2 years of COVID when students were not able to go abroad. We're excited that we're again offering those programs. And those programs are open to students from all undergraduate majors. So that's our engineering and our science students, as well as students in the social sciences and humanities. Like the other schools, we have an active campus life, and students really get involved with what's going on. We have over 130 clubs and organizations, so everything from the ski club to music organizations to student government, lots of community service opportunities in both Schenectady and the local capital district. We have 26 varsity sports, 2 on the Division I level, men's and women's ice hockey, as well as the rest on the Division III level in the Liberty League. And what's the inclusive program at Union is our Minerva houses. So we have 7 houses. Every student belongs to one of the Minerva houses, and they offer about 500 different events and programs for the campus community each year. We're proud that 97% of our students within 6 months of graduation have plans for the coming year, and that includes many who are going directly into jobs, graduate schools, professional schools, but really interesting things from Watson Fellowships, Fulbright scholarships, people joining the military if they were in one of our ROTC programs. So just like high school should be preparing you for college, we should be preparing you for life after college. And our Union alumni database is really strong, 13,000 people on that who really work to mentor the students successfully. We are, again, a test optional school like you heard before. We have early decision, early action, regular decision. We have lots of on-campus and virtual programs. We meet 100% of the demonstrated financial need, and everyone is considered for merit awards. So you just need to apply to be considered. I'll put my contact information in the chat. I am the person who works with students from the greater DC and Baltimore areas. So would love to connect with you. So thanks for joining.
Thank you very much. Union College. We'd now like to turn it over to our last presenter, Washington University in St. Louis.
Awesome. Thanks so much for that. Okay. I apologize about the short delay here. It seems like there's a challenge with the screen share, but can you all see the screen share?
No.
Not yet.
No. Okay. Well, for the sake of time, I'm not sure I can see it on my end. I am not sure why it's no longer populating on you all's end, but for the sake of time and just making sure we still can have a robust conversation, I still want to speak to you directly about Washington University in St. Louis. Good evening, and thanks so much for joining us today. My name is Valencia Jones. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm one of the Senior Associate Directors at Washington University in St. Louis. I also have the privilege of covering the territory or being the admissions counselor for students who live in the state of Maryland, unfortunately excluding the DMV area, but certainly still near and dear to my heart, and we'll be able to connect you to that counselor should there be an opportunity for subsequent conversation. I think a few things that are critically important to the identity of Washington University in St. Louis is really the city in which we are located. A lot of people are very unfamiliar with St. Louis, but I like to really think of it as a pleasant surprise. St. Louis is a medium-sized city that gives you the best of both worlds. We're a big city, but we also have that kind of familiar, friendly atmosphere that you might think of or associate with a small town. We have beautiful parks and museums, super passionate sports fans, and many people are surprised also to find out that we have an amazing food scene as well. So if you're a foodie, you'll definitely love it. At the same time, we do have a collection of individual neighborhoods, each of them with their own unique personality and flair, but all really boasting that Midwestern charm and heart. And so it's definitely a great place to live and to learn. And it's actually one of the country's fastest growing cities for startup companies. So you'll get that sense of innovation, and you'll also just understand the uniqueness of the place that we call home. We really encourage our students to immerse themselves into the St. Louis experience. And to do that, we help you all get off campus by engaging with the city around you all. That would include offering free Metro passes to all the students, just to give you an opportunity to get connected into some of those attractions that I mentioned earlier. Some other things that I think are critically important to know about our campus is that we are definitely a campus who is diverse and inclusive and very collaborative and creative at heart. We have 5 undergraduate academic divisions, including the College of Arts and Sciences, which is the largest, our McKelvey School of Engineering, our Olin Business School, and the College of Art and Architecture, which is housed in the Sam Fox. We do admit directly by division, so we do take into consideration the academic division at which you've applied to when we are making admissions decisions and evaluating your credentials. Our campus does represent all 50 states, US territories, and over 50 different countries. And so it's really important to us because this type of diversity brings together the concept of diversity in a lot of different forms, whether it be racial, ethnic, socioeconomic, religious, or political status. So because we have so many unique students with their own interests and lived experiences, we really want to make sure that every student can feel seen and heard on our campus. And we think a lot of what happens there kind of leads into our unofficial model of getting to know students by name and story. It's our community that really makes us very open, unique, respectful, and honest, but also being able to challenge each other and have dialogue, both that's comfortable and uncomfortable, but all working together towards a resolution and discovering new things about each other and ourselves. Within the classroom, we love to think about WashU as a place of discovery. Students get to choose one of our 5 divisions, as I've mentioned earlier. And most of our courses are going to be small discussion-based classes. The average classroom size is about 26 students, and we want students to be active participants. You'll also find that an interdisciplinary atmosphere is really one of the hallmarks of a WashU education. Within our academic community, we have multiple divisions and majors and minors, et cetera, but around 80% of our students actually graduate with more than one major. We believe this is truly a testament to both our multifaceted students, but also the flexibility of our curriculum. curriculum. There isn't a university-wide core curriculum, so students do have a lot of choices. In addition to that, we love to think about this as a partnership. And so you're not navigating this process alone at all. We do have a robust array of advisors that are here to support you all as we think about how to plan your future, not only so that you can have a fulfilling and enriching experience at WashU, but so you can have an enriching experience and be fulfilled in terms of meeting your goals after you leave us. We additionally have 11 faculty fellows who live side by side with our students in our residential colleges. We believe that this further continues to support the notion of community connection. Some other things that we want you to take away from this conversation is we understand that having a robust experience outside of the classroom is very much important, and it's directly correlated to having a wonderful experience at WashU. We're always encouraging our students to continue learning outside of the four walls of the classroom, whether that is research or taking advantage of resources generally around them, starting your own business by using our student entrepreneurial program, or getting involved through St. Louis through our Gephardt Institute of Civic Technology and Engagement. A lot of our students also will study abroad. So again, lots of opportunities there. Student life is very robust with over 400 clubs and organizations for you to choose from. And they have the pleasure of operating a $3.5 million annual budget to make sure that as a collective, you all have a voice in the experience that you have at WashU and really shape and inform how that money is used to have the experience that you seek to have. We have Division III varsity sports, 13 a cappella groups, fraternity and sorority life, and again, a host of other ways for you to get involved. I do want to kind of skip to make sure we have some time to think about our admissions process. It is holistic. It is something that is very nuanced within the context in which you are coming from your high school and your neighborhood. I mentioned earlier, we admit by division. We are a test optional institution. We also are need blind and meet 100% of demonstrated need for all domestic first year students. I do hope that this information has been helpful to help you understand the characteristics of our community and some of the experiences that you can have at WashU should you seek out an opportunity to join our WashU family. And so with that, I look forward to chatting more with you all either after this or during the conversation, but I'll turn it over to Greg with a simple Go Bears Go.
Thank you very much. We have just a minute or two left, and I just wanted to open it up with a question, maybe to all of our panelists. Any advice that you would give someone going through the college search process? And we'll maybe ask University of Rochester, any advice for someone going through the college search process?
Sure thing. Thanks, Greg. My best advice would be to listen to your school counselors. They may suggest some schools that you've never heard of before, but they are experts in their field. They have visited a lot of these campuses, and they may see a school that's a great fit for you that you've never even heard of. So trust in them. They want the best for you, and take their suggestions.
Thank you. University of Connecticut, any advice you would give to someone going through the college search process?
Honestly, I would say to just really, when you're looking at a bunch of different schools, to kind of try to imagine yourself there, like sometimes you can see a lot of different like statistics and a lot of things, but what's most important about choosing the right school for you is that it feels right to you. So whether, it has a 10% or 80% acceptance rate or anything like that, it's, whether you feel like it's going to be a good place. So pay more attention to how you feel about it than how like statistics might make it sound.
Thank you very much. Bucknell University, any suggestions for someone going through the college search process?
Thank you. I think it's important to remember that you should spend the extra time filling out the questions that the universities are asking you. Don't leave any blank space, and make sure that you remember that you are curating your application. So pick an essay topic that highlights who you are and shares a story of your experience.
Thank you very much. And that's about all the time we have for tonight. Wanted to say thank you to everyone for participating. When you leave this screen, there'll be a quick survey. just a very short survey for a couple of questions, 5-question survey. Would appreciate any feedback you can provide. And we encourage you to check back with the schedule and sign up for more sessions. And remember, you'll be able to find this session's recording as well as all of the others at strivescan.com/AIMS, AIMS. Thank you to everyone and have a great night.